What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel and you are here to see a build, whether it's new, old, or indifferent, maybe you're catching up on some old videos, please subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 6,000 by the end of the month. We're getting really, really close, so your effort and help really means a lot to us. So today's video is going to be really quick. We're going to try to keep this one like around or under 10 minutes for this bad boy right above my head. Huh. What? Yeah, I know. Now you guys are not going to see a lot of the progress that this takes, because what we're doing is, you guys saw the last video or 2 videos ago, the tramp came in here, got stripped down really quickly. You guys really didn't get to see much of that either. It's unfortunate that you guys aren't seeing much of those builds. We're going to really focus on the back half of those coming back together, that you guys get to see a lot of it. But tearing them down, we're really just kind of pulling them in, tearing them down, and then getting them out of here so we can focus on customer builds. Which leads me to Grandpa's truck, which is Anthony's S10 that's behind me on the lift. And it's kind of the same story going on with this one. We pulled it in here real quick. We thought we were going to be able to strip it down and get working on the build that we're doing on it. And then we ran into some problems. So we're going to show you guys a couple things on the truck real quick. Nothing crazy, some of the things we're going to change. And then we'll show you what we found amidst doing that. So Grandpa's truck, if you haven't seen it already, is an LS Swapped S10. We picked up in Michigan kind of the end of the season last year. It has a iron 6-liter with a used 4L80. It's pretty much a junkyard build. It has like dirty dingo engine swap mounts. It is really tight on the firewall there. As you can see, it had some problems with the heater box. And then it looks like they had to do something in there, hammer that maybe. I don't know, it looks creased funny. Oh, maybe to fit the 4L80 up in there. They had to hammer it up. Because all this pinch weld is all smashed. So it's obviously pretty tight right there. Going back here, they made a custom cross member that's pretty ugly. I mean, it's super heavy duty. It's like welded on both sides. So if we have to take it off, it's going to be a huge pain in the ass. But it came across, and then like hooped up, and then it was like trailer hitch tubing on this side, and it was like janky here, so the exhaust could come back. So the exhaust is really goofy. We'll show you in a second. But it came down back over this way, and then over the 2 mufflers, and then over the axle and back. You can see it already has a Ford 8.8 in it that has stock perch locations, so the pinion angle is kind of crazy. So we'll be playing with that. But at least we got a good center. We did rebuild the traction lock that's in it. It does have 31 spline axles. We made sure to put a official Ford Racing diff cover on it, because that is the way to go in this situation. We've already put Caltrax on it, and we have raced it at the track a handful of times. It's got stock shocks, weird exhaust hangers. But currently it's just like a rolling chassis. There ain't nothing to it right now. Dan worked really hard the last few days on getting it out over the last few days. Is that the tank for it? No, that's not there. Oh, there's a tank. So here's some of the small stuff: starter, tank, trans cooler that was added. That's it there. Drive shaft. There's the exhaust. Transmission. And then we're going to get to the fun stuff. So, Anthony, if you guys recall, you guys saw in like maybe 1 or 2 videos, had a H2, a Kawasaki H2. Factory centrifugal supercharged liter bike. Badass. Well, we convinced him that he should go on 4 wheels instead of 2 after a minor accident that he had. Thank God he's okay. And that's what led to the S10 project. Now this thing is sweet. We literally drove it a couple thousand miles this year, which he did not have it for a long time. It would do burnouts through second gear like it's its job. And we've had some fun with it already. He raced at the track. What do you go, like 12.8? The fastest, like one time, was like 12.8.
13.0 pretty much.
But it was, yeah, it was pretty consistent 13.0. We should have put it in 13.20, but the fastest it went was 12.8, like one time, or 12.9. He just barely got into the 12s. The converter was pretty tight. I mean, it has a handful of things, but I mean, it only made like 350 horsepower, so pretty fun. It rides nice. It's perfect. So then, naturally, we're like, well, it's got to be faster than that. And riding an H2 and going to an LSS10, this is like nothing. So we decided that we were going to do like a hot side, cold side, Holley, twin turbo deal and kind of get carried away and just see what these stock bottom end LSs are all about, because obviously you guys don't see much of those on the channel, so that's what was going to be kind of our test mule for a lot of things. But the time involved in doing that project and the time that Dan and I would have wrapped into that project would take too much away, unfortunately, from not only our personal projects that we want to work on, like the Tramp Build, Vincenzo or Not Yours, my Black Notch, and Dan's car that will remain nicknameless for the time being, that it unfortunately wasn't feasible. So we were kind of brainstorming what we wanted to do, and we decided that putting an LSA blower on the 6-liter that's in it would be a sweet idea and way simpler. A little bit more costly in the parts department, considering that the labor is considerably less, then that kind of would make sense, right? So we're like, okay, the LSA project could be a good idea. So we bought a like unused LSA that's been updated. It was like brand new. We bought that, then we started getting the parts together from LSX Concepts to put an LSA blower drive on it, and then that turned into an ATI balancer, ATI overdrive, obviously blower pulley. Then our friends down the street, Jim Stewart, who races in the heavy hitter class, has a pretty sweet blower that he wanted to unload. So we ended up selling our blower, buying his ported blower so we can upgrade it a little bit. And all this snowballs very quickly, right? So we're still sticking with some of the same themes. It's still an LSA blown LS. And it's still getting a Holley and like a 7-inch dash, so we can eliminate the factory gauge wiring and ECU and running double sensors and all that stuff. We just wanted to simplify it. So Anthony, thank you for being on board with the Holley deal. That was a very good idea, wise decision. So we did that. We got the in-dash layout from Holley. We got the 7-inch dash from Holley. We are eliminating the fuel cell. We'll probably be changing the exhaust in the future because it comes out in one big piece, which was annoying. But now that we don't have a fuel tank, what would normally go right there, we'll probably end up putting like a kind of a true dual with an H or an X in it somewhere, and then some different sounding mufflers. Not really too crazy about these like Summit brand Flowmasters, which are probably Flowmasters. So that's what we're doing now. So we got a pretty sweet LSA, and then we decided, hey, if we're going to turn it up pretty aggressively on the stock bottom end, we were reminded that, hey, the rings in that motor and that truck that you guys bought were not gapped. We didn't touch the bottom of the motor. We just jammed it in. So we're like, oh, we're not going to have as much fun. So we're like, okay, well, that's all right. We'll pull the motor. We'll kind of go through it, maybe see if it needs bearings, and then we'll just cut the rings back. And if it's clean on the inside, then that's pretty much all we'll do. Maybe throw some bearings in it, wash everything, clean it all, check the timing set, and slide it back together and move on with life. That leads to today. So all that building up to this has happened over the last couple months. We have a full fuel system. We have an intercooler tank, both of which are going in the bed. Leaving the tonneau cover on though, so it's going to be super sleeper. And we're just ready. We were ready to put this thing together really quick and make it super badass, get it to Larry, get it tuned, and then be waiting for nice weather. Hold on, hold that thought. Hey Amir, I'm shooting a YouTube video. Let me call you back. All right, bye. All right, so that leads to today, where we have the LS out of the car. Anthony came in this morning and we stripped it down. We got all the parts out of it. We got the pan off, oil pump, everything, camshaft, and rods, pistons, everything. Everything's out of it. Now it's time for the not so good news. What's that? Yeah, okay. Just straight carnage. All the mains are kind of tore up. They don't look the greatest. Thrust bearings, not that hot. Rod bearings aren't terrible, but they're definitely not good. I mean, you can see clearly that they had some material go through them. That one's missing one. The block looks okay, but the cam bearings came out with the camshaft. So there's 3 of those that are no good. Doesn't look like it's spun in the block too much to where it got destroyed, but it's enough that if they came out easy, you got to bore it out and put oversized cam bearings in it. Camshaft is out. There's a little bit of bluing on this one, which is not a good sign. I'm going to try to get you guys focused in there. A little bit of bluing on this one, which is not a good sign. This one, you can't really... yeah, your fingernail can feel the grooves in that one, which isn't good. That one's smooth, smooth. And not the greatest. So this is a Summit Racing camshaft. So what do? We don't know what to do now. So this is a Gen 3 6-liter. That was going to be our base for making a decent amount of power, at least enough to have fun. And now it's a bunch of garbage. So what do you guys think we should do? So comment down below if you have any good ideas on what we should do with this motor. I mean, we don't know what direction to go with it. We've already spent a ton of money in preparation for this being good. And now it's not good. So we're on the fence. Do we get another $600 LS 6-liter base and hope that it's in better shape than this one? In which case we'll probably end up ripping apart and finding some kind of problem. Or do we just spend a little bit more money than the $600 to start over and put this one together? And by a little more, it's like 4 times the cost. But then we have, we'll use a stock crankshaft, so that won't change. We'd probably put maybe Gen 4 rods or cheap aftermarket rods in it. Maybe a set of pistons. And then slam it back together with a good timing set, new gasket set, and a different camshaft. I don't know. What do you guys think is the smartest move on the money? So if you're an LS guy, obviously you'll have some good input on us on this. We're all about just like, well, it's out. You might as well just spend some money and make it freaking nasty. But that turns into like $6,000 like that. So we are trying to avoid that because we spent enough on the rest of the supporting modifications to make this truck what it wants to be. So once again, you guys are listening to me talk for 12 minutes straight. But that is what we worked on today and this week. The 300's gone, so that's good. And we're going to be bringing you some more customer builds throughout the rest of the week with like that 86 Fox that's on the lift over there. And we're trying to make some headway on the red notchback that's been in the background for a while. That one's got a really weird issue that we're trying to pin down, and we're not doing well at. So, all right, guys. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another quick tune-up episode on what's going on in the shop. If you have any questions, concerns, or any input on the LS project, comment down below, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.